Good morning. So this time we're going to add vectors. So given we have vector A 8 meters 30 degrees north of east, then vector B 4 meters west, vector C 6 meters 60 degrees west of north. So first is we're going to make a vector diagram. So what is vector diagram? Vector diagram is just a representation of vectors using Cartesian plane or Cartesian coordinate axis or the XY plane. Okay, so this time draw first a vector diagram. So we may just use the first and the second quadrant since we're dealing only with north of east and west of north. So somewhere here. Okay, so this is north, south, we have the west, and we have the east. Okay, the positive x-axis, the negative x-axis, the negative y, then the positive y. So 8 meters 30 degrees north of east. So this is just a representation. So again, this whiteboard is not enough to draw 8 meters. So we just assume that this would be the 8 meters 30 degrees. 30 degrees is somewhere here. Okay, so 30 is somewhere here. Okay, this is 30 degrees. And this is vector A. Okay, next vector B. Vector B is 4 meters west. So this would be our vector B. Okay, somewhere here. Next, vector C, 6 meters 60 degrees west of north. Okay, so again, the reference angle 60 starts from north and it points west. Okay, so this is north. So 60 somewhere here. Okay, 60. So this is vector. This is 60 degrees. Vector C. Okay. Another question. Next, let us add A plus B using head to tail method. So again, there are two ways to add graphically the vector quantities. So we have the head to tail method and the parallelogram method. So head to tail method can be used for more than two vectors. Okay, while parallelogram method can only be applicable for two vectors. So let us add A plus B. Add vector A plus vector B. So the technique here is you're going to, okay, using your pencil, you're going to do a line, a very, very thin line, okay, representing the x and the y axis. Okay, so we have here, okay, so draw first vector A, okay, so 30 degrees using your protractor, okay, 30 degrees, this is the origin. So you may point it here, position the protractor here, and 30 degrees is 1, 2, 3. So this is 30 somewhere here. Okay. Next, draw a line. 8 meters. So in here you have to make an assumption. Okay. So let 1 cm be equal to 1 meter. Okay, so therefore if 1 cm is equal to 1 meter, so therefore you're going to measure 8 centimeters for 8 meters. Okay, so 8 centimeters. So we have here, okay, so from this origin Then we have here 8. Okay, again, in your paper, you're going to apply the correct measurement. So in here, this is just only an example. So 8. So in here, I'm going to use scale. But in your paper, you're going to use this assumption. Okay, so again, this is only our assumption. Okay, 8. Okay, supposing I'm going to use a scale, one scale for 1 meter, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you have 8. Okay, so this is 30 degrees. This is our vector A. Okay, next. Vector B is 4 meters west, so that is to the left. Okay, so just connect a line, 4 scales from the head of this vector, from here. So draw a line straight to the left. Okay, napaka-straight. Okay, so 4 scales. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is vector. This is our vector B. Okay, next, to find for the sum, the vector sum, or the resultant vector, just connect a line from the head of the last vector to the tail of the last vector, or to the origin. Okay, so this time you're going to use red color for the resultant vector in your activity. Okay, so connect a line. Okay, connecting from the head of the last vector to the tail of the first vector. So this is now our resultant vector R. Okay, next, to determine the magnitude of R, just measure this R, okay, using your ruler. Okay, so this is R. Suppose again, this is only an assumption. Suppose the length of this is 5 scale, 5 scale, or 5 centimeters. Supposing this is 5 centimeters, so therefore 5 times, okay, 5 centimeters or 5 meters, right? Okay, since we let 1 cm be equal to 1 meter. So supposing this is 5 centimeters, or that is also equal to 5 meters. Okay, supposing, again, suppose. I am not saying that this is the exact, okay, the exact value, but suppose the value of the resultant vector r is 5 meters, then what is the direction? Okay, so to measure the direction of the resultant vector r, we're going to use your protractor. Okay, so I have here a vintage protractor. So I think this is 20-year-old protractor. Okay, so measure now the angle. Okay, so position your protractor in here at the origin, then try to measure the red line that indicates the resultant vector. Okay, supposing this is 54 degrees. Okay, 54 degrees. Okay, degrees, from here our reference angle is from, okay, from north to east, so that is north of east. Okay, supposing this is 54, the red one, this one, 54 degrees. So what is the angle here? Okay, 54 degrees north of east. Okay, so if this is 54, what is the measure of this? So this would be, again, this is a right angle. So therefore, right angle measures 90 degrees. So 90 minus 54 is 36. Okay, so, or the resultant vector r is also equal to 5 meters, 36 degrees east of north. So the reference angle starts from north and it points east. Okay, 30 degrees is east of north. Okay, this is the north, east, then the west. Okay, no more question. Next, for parallelogram method. Okay, or one more example. Supposing we're going to add all these three. Okay, all these three vectors, vector A, vector B, and vector C. Okay, so no more question. Again, supposing this length in here that represent the resultant vector R measures 5 meters or 5 cm, and 5 cm, we have here our assumption where in 1 cm we let 1 cm be equal to 1 meter. So therefore, if this is 5 cm, then the length or the resultant vector R, okay, would be 5 meters. Okay, so if this is 5 meters and this angle, reference angle, or the direction of R with respect to x-axis is 54 degrees north of east, then we can also represent another direction to be 36 degrees east of north with respect to the reference angle is with respect to y. Okay? Yan galing sa y. Okay, next. What if we're going to add a plus b plus c? Okay, a plus b plus c. Okay, so again, draw, okay, draw a small Cartesian plane to represent or as your guide. Okay, so draw first vector A. So 30 degrees is somewhere here. Okay, so 8 meters or 8 scales or 8 centimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have 8. This is vector A, 30 degrees. Okay, next, vector B. That is 4 scales to the left. So 1, 2, 3, then we have 4. Okay, this is vector B. Okay, next, how about vector C? 6 meters, 6 degrees west of north. Okay, so in here, we're going to again draw small Cartesian plane. Okay, so using your protractor, you're going to measure 60 degrees. So from here, from north, it points west. So therefore, the angle here we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So this is 60. Okay, that is 60 degrees. So 6 meters or 6 scales. Okay, so from here, from this small Cartesian plane that I have drawn, draw a line. Okay, so again, this is 60 degrees. Okay, okay. Next, this should be 6 scale. So let us check. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 6. Okay. So this is not an exact measurement. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is vector C. So the angle is with respect to y. This is 60. Okay, again, as I have said, using your protractor, measure 60 degrees. So from here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, since the angle is with respect to y-axis. Okay, next, let us now draw a line connecting from the head of this last vector to the tail of the first vector. This is the tail of the first vector. Okay, so let us darken this one. Okay, in order for you to understand. Okay, and this is for vector A. Okay, next, this, this is 30 degrees. Okay, so as I have said, you're going to draw a line connecting from the head of the last vector to the tail of the first vector in order for us to get the sum or the resultant vector. Again, resultant vector is known as the sum of two or more vectors. So draw a line in here. Okay, so this is now our R. Okay, this is now the resultant vector R, or the A plus B plus C. Okay, so again, how are we going to find the magnitude of this? Just use your, okay, just use your ruler. So again, measure this length. Okay, then after that, measure the angle. Okay, so R, suppose again, I am playing safe because this is not an accurate measurement. I only apply estimation or scales for this. Okay, suppose R is equal to, okay, so let me estimate this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, supposing 8. Supposing the answer, suppose R is equal to 8 cm or 8 scales. So again, we let 1 cm be equal to 1 meter. Okay, so suppose the length of this is 8 cm, or the would be equal to 8 meters, what is the direction of the resultant R? Okay, so again, measure the angle using the protractor. Okay, so this is now the protractor. Okay, so measure this angle. Supposing this angle is 20 degrees. Okay, again, suppose I am still playing safe. Okay, so from the word suppose this is 20 degrees. If this is 20 degrees, what is the measure of this? Again, if this is 20 degrees, what is the measure of this? So 90 minus 20 is 70. Again, this is right angle yan. Okay, so 90 minus 20 is 70, so 70 degrees. Again, that is only my assumption. Okay, so wag gayahin. Ako lang ang may kakayahang gumawa nito. Assumption. So in your activity, you're going to apply correct measurement, correct angles, okay, using your protractor and your ruler. So suppose R is 8, supposing R is equal to 8 scales or 8 meters. So therefore, its direction would be 20 degrees. Okay, so this is west and this is north. Okay, this line here, the line here. Okay, north. So that is west of north. Okay, or 8 meters, 70 degrees. Okay, how about this one with respect to x-axis? Okay, the angle here is with respect to x-axis. So this is north of west. So from west, it points north. 70 degrees west, north of west. Okay, no more question. Okay, so in your activity, the same given, you're going to add A plus B, okay, for your activity output, okay. Number 1, you're going to add A plus B, okay, A plus B for your output. Then number 2 would be A plus B plus C, okay, vector A plus vector B plus vector C. So you're going to find out the resultant of these two, the A plus B and the A plus B plus C, okay, and that would be submitted by Saturday. Okay, so that's